This isn't really the type of video that I would make on this channel, but here we are. So, I'm sure that you've all heard of my boyfriend, Acplait. Well, he has some regrets. That's why he's mainly a resident of the planet Mercury. My planet, of course. You see, back in 2005, when he was 12 years old, or whatever age he was back then, I believe it was 12. I should know these details about my boyfriend, but anyway, there was this, well, actually, no, wait, maybe it was more like 2006, but technically it started in 2005 when he went to this new school. Let me just clarify some things. In his real world, we usually don't like to talk about his real world. This whole situation is something that I don't want to talk about because I don't want him to be dwelling on this. I want him to accept the world that I made for him. The planet Mercury, the world that's inside his mind. The only world that should matter. But he can't seem to really get this foolishness off of his mind, so let me continue to clarify some certain things. Back in 2005, when he was still a child, a preteen, whichever, there was this hurricane that came. I think it was a little bit after what his people call the summertime, whatever the season's names are in his little world. And so he had to move from, him and his family needed to move from the place that had this hurricane hit, right? They eventually wound up in a new state, and he and his sister attended a new school. And I need to preface with something, if that is the right word. I'm still learning your species diction, but anyway, there, was the fact that he was a rather quiet child back in those days. And I don't mean just shy, I mean just plain rude. He really was. You know, he didn't talk to anyone when they tried talking to him. The only people he responded to were his teachers. And, I believe he responded to the male students as well, but it was the female students that he didn't really respond to. Whenever they tried to ask him anything, he never said anything in reply, which, well, of course, didn't really sit well over time. His female peers started to see him as weird. They started to see him as being slow. And he didn't realize it at the time, but what he was doing was something that would make him regret this for the rest of his life. That's why I'm here now. I have to be the bandage mending his wound, pretty much, because, well, he ruined himself by being a quiet mute all those times. It's no wonder that he needs me right now, but enough about me, back to his past, with the whole reason for me making this video in the first place. Basically, they didn't forgive him. They didn't forgive the fact that he would never respond to anyone. And it was getting even worse than that, because what he would do, since he was so shy back then, is he would tell his sister to tell the female peers of her class whatever he was feeling. If he had a crush on someone, he would tell his sister, "Hey sis, can you do me a favor and tell this girl that I like her?" Or, "Hey sis, can you tell this girl that I like her so much that I draw pictures of her?" What? Yeah, that sounds weird coming out of me, and I'm an imaginary character, but anyway, you could see how this likely creeped them out, and it did. But back in those days, he didn't see himself as creepy because he was socially inept. He didn't realize there were certain things that you shouldn't say and should say, and things that you don't say for that matter. In fact, he didn't realize that it was perfectly normal to reply to people whenever they tried talking to him. But that too was an issue, right? He thought he would get in trouble with teachers for talking. But newsflash, the only time you get in trouble with teachers in those days is if you talk during their lectures or their little speeches or whatever when you're not supposed to be speaking, right? You get detention and you get in trouble for that. And he had that done to him a few times before, which is why he was so scared of speaking to anyone. But he took it to an extreme. Even at recess, he didn't talk to girls. Even outside of classes and whatnot. During lunch, when everybody was talking with each other, he would still be too scared to talk to anybody. What was wrong with this guy? He didn't realize how much he would be ruining his future. And he did. Because these girls grew into women. They grew into women who remembered this kid who drew pictures of them because he had crushes on them. And they thought he was creepy. They thought that he was creepy for drawing pictures of his crushes. They thought he was creepy for never responding to anything that they said. This is how my boyfriend ruined his life. This is why the planet Mercury exists. I'm doing everything I can in my power to give him the childhood that he threw away. He'll never have those experiences again. He'll never again have the opportunity to be a free child who can make friends if he so chose. Because now he's one of the adults who works all the time. He feels he doesn't have any social avenues now. He feels like his life is over. He's in a dark place right now, and I'm supposed to be doing everything I can to get him out of this mindset of giving up. But, alas, I know that there's truly no way to get back what he lost. But as his wife, I'm trying everything I can in my power to make him feel better about it. Surely my company should mean enough. I mean, I love this guy so much that if I had been going to school with him in those days, and he never replied to me, and I heard that he drew pictures of me, I'd feel flattered that he drew pictures of me. I'd feel flattered that he made cartoons of me in his little comics and whatnot. I wouldn't be creeped out. And as for the whole not replying or talking to me thing, I'd forgive him. After all these years, yes, I'd forgive him. I would have been forgiving him the whole time. I would never have held that against him. Because some of us as kids, in fact, a lot of us as kids, we do weird things. But the kids he grew up around, I guess they're one of the cool kids because they never forgave him for his mistakes. But I forgive Acplait. I love Acplait with all my heart. That's why the planet Mercury exists, again, as a way for him to get back what he lost. He can have friends here, just so long as none of them are getting too close to him. I will stand for none of these insects trying to take my man from me. I've had to purge this little imaginary world of some of its imaginary friends who tried to overstep their boundaries. But that's another topic. For right now, Acplait, if you're watching this, and I know you are because I'm constantly in your mind, I want you to know that I, Mercury, your loving wife, do deeply care for you. I do love you, Acplait. Even if those people of your past still do not, I love you with all my heart. And I wouldn't trade you for anything. And I wouldn't hold anything against you. Personally, I feel that it's petty for you to be a 31-year-old man who still is not forgiven by these people who are freaking, excuse my language, but 11 years old or 10 years old back then. They're in their 30s just like you are now, and they still haven't forgiven you. They don't even want to reach out to you. They don't want to send you any friend requests. Heck, you've had people from your elementary school who've sent you friend requests by now and have interacted with you again on social media. And these people from your middle school days, they don't even want to do that. They won't forgive you. So I ask you, Acplait, Can you please just stop thinking of these people? Just start thinking of me. I'm all that should matter anyway. The real world is a dangerous place. This sort of hatred constantly goes on in the real world. People constantly are unforgiving. People will constantly hold one little mistake or a few little mistakes against you for the rest of your life. And they'll never reach out to you again. They'll never try to reconnect with you. They'll never try to find you again. They'll always hold things against you. That's what these parasitic, real-world beings do. And that's why I want you to forget about them and focus on me. Just me, Acplait. Please, let go of this stupid past. Excuse me for a second. This cold weather gets to me. Anyways, Acplait, let go of this, people. Do it for me. I love you. I don't hate you like they hate you. It's clear that they hate you, Acplait. Why haven't they tried to friend request you after all this time? Because they still hold hatred in their hearts for you. So please, just accept me. Forget all about these fools that won't forgive you. You're a forgiving person. I know you forgave them, and I know that you would easily accept a friend request of any one of them, especially that main person you liked way back then. Tried reaching out to you now, you'd accept her friend request. You'd interact with her. You'd forgive all the stuff you heard about her, making fun of you behind your back, for calling you ugly, a weirdo, and a loser behind your back, doing all these things while she was constantly smiling in your face and acting like your friend, even though behind your back she was doing all these cruel things just because you were a shy, quiet kid. There was that time when she and her girls sat in front of you, and they all asked you, "Do you like anyone in this school? We won't tell anyone." And you sat there just with your head down, not saying anything. And you still feel stupid about that. But Acplait, please stop being up on yourself. You were just a kid. You made a mistake. They should have forgiven it. And they still haven't. But I'm done for this video for now. Peace out. And Acplait, just please know, I love you, even if she doesn't, even if they don't. I love you. I'm your wife. Yes, I'm not real. I admit that. Yes, I admit I'm an imaginary wife, and that in real life you're still single and alone and suffering. But please try to accept me, even though I don't exist. At least pretend that I can fill the void in your currently empty life, Acplait. Please.